Hello, buongiorno. I hope you're all well. I wanted to do a little bit of a different video tonight, just to go through some of the goals that we scored. There'll be a second video later as well, just on the goals that we've conceded. I'll also just take you through some very high level analysis that we can now get our hands on, which gives us a little bit more of an idea of the things that we need to work on as a team. And some of the things that we focus on in training off the back of some of the numbers and some of the stats. So very sort of mathematician. If you're into your maths, this will really be useful, and just any sort of sports and stat based stuff that you might be into as well. But hopefully it'll be enjoyable for you. Just a little very different vid. And we're going to start off with watching all the goals that we've scored so far this year, and then just sort of try and understand what the common themes are and how can we do more of it. So first game of the season was against West Brom. Love this goal because we opened the pitch up. I don't think we got Jamie on the ball until this point, and then a goal from inside the box. And you'll hear me say some of these things because these areas of where we're scoring are really important. So came from the switch, and then we were able to score in that right hand side. So Foggy, another great ball in. I think we spoke about this at the time. Lovely 1-2 Sam, and then pretty much the same spot we were able to score a second goal. So really identifying that the left back might not be able to defend against some of these plays. So well done. And then Jamie Smith again, able to get past his man, and then a pull back into the central channel, and we score the third. So great pull back against West Brom. And then the final one was a penalty. I'd like to see how we won the penalty, because I think that was the most important part. Win the ball back. Again, attacking down the right side against their left back, who we've identified. And then Hughesy takes the contact. But really important that all of those goals have come from inside the box. I think that's really key. Against West Brom, when we were at our best is when we got the ball into that box, and we were able to hold that ball up. We've got music playing now. Goal against Shrewsbury. I love this. Watch Hughes' press here. So love the fact that he's basically blocking this man here. So and all of a sudden, if you look at where we're standing, don't underestimate the out possession play to win this ball back. You gave that goalkeeper no option other than to panic. So let's watch all that back in totality. It's a pretty simple finish in the end because the goalkeeper gave it to you, but the work is in the pre. So that step across there created it. So love that, Hughesy, from you. Real individual goal, but also that press from Sam and Jamie. I think this one is where the wind is just ridiculous. You can probably get a bit seasick on this one, but again, just watch away from the ball. So watch the player movements in the middle on this one. So Sam follows up, and then Freddie Stevens follows up as well. So really good team goal there off the long shot and the deflection off the goalkeeper. Penalty, sorry, I haven't clipped this, but Freddie Stevens gets taken down from memory in this one. I don't think this one was the handball. I think that was Lennington that was the handball. So Freddie Stevens has just won the penalty. And I think it's really, again, just another observation when we watch all these goals back, just how many goals have come from penalties this year. So, when we get into that box and we take contact, it's obviously working for us. It's his first time goal. Love that. Can't believe he still didn't celebrate with us though. Absolutely wounded. Maybe you didn't want the Jamie Banner treatment after all. Maybe that's what it is. What do you reckon, Beardsy? Wake Green. So really good win. Love how the central defenders sort of back him up there. Jamie with the nutmegs and a long shot outside of the box. And I think this was the first game that we had the analysis. So I'll share some of the analysis with you. But the analysis starts from the Newcastle game that was the week before. And the Wake Green game was the first game that we scored from. So again, another long shot just inside the box though. And that's generally our play, isn't it? Down the left-hand side. And there against West Brom, we really exploited the left back. But we seem to score many goals from that left-hand side. Good out of possession here, winning the ball back high up the pitch, high press, high reward, and then we're able to combine in the area to then get another goal inside the box. So Jamie inside, cutting in on his left foot inside the box. Really good build-up play there, and that's going to be a key focus from us when we look at the stats. This is straight off the kickoff, so again, high press, high reward, and then we catch that defender on the back foot, and away we go. We score again. So another goal from inside the box, running in, driving into the box, which is really, really important. I think you're probably getting the theme here about us driving into the box. Another penalty, handball, bit dodgy handball that was. Didn't think it was, but Mickey stole my cap as well, so if you saw my ball patch there, you'll understand why I wear a cap. Summer's in Mickey's eyes. Good finish on the penalty. I think that's 3 penalties so far that we scored. Against Wolves now, so we score 5 in this game. A couple of low-scoring games. Ball into the area. I know it's not a combination, but it's a shot from inside the box again. A shot with inside the box has scored a goal because we were able to work the ball in there and maintain it in. Now I've extended this clip because it started with Mickey, and everybody knows how much I love a goal starting from Mickey. So well worked into the box. I'm going to replay this in a moment just to explain one of the key principles of why we scored this goal. So I really like this one. I'd like us to do a little bit more of this because this played, especially in this game, this played into our favour in this game. So first of all, we've the reason why we were able to find Jamie is because we varied. So we played it short to Max or to Jonesy throughout the game. There was probably 2 or 3 pitches where this happened beforehand. So look how high they're pressing. And I really like how Mickey varied this up. So variation's key. But also, when we get it up to Jamie, look how high Hughesy is in the 9. So Hughes is playing as a centre forward. And look how high Hughesy is here. Now, what that created on the pitch is this huge gap in the middle. So if you look at us now, we are basically 4 against 3 in the middle zone. And against this midfield, who's CDM in this picture? I think Cutler. Who's CDM? Can't see who's CDM in this picture. But look how... Who's that now? Oh, Jones is CDM, isn't he? So Jones is CDM, and now because Hughesy is still so high, he's created this space and that void for us to drive into that area of where we want shots away, which is in this zone here, really, around that penalty spot. Really like Hughesy's run here to sort of create that little bit of yard of space for Harrison, but more importantly for him to be able to get into the rebound. So great that we're able to stretch the pitch and to create that space for us to drive into the box, something that I'm a massive fan of. Third goal against Wolves came from a kick-off, ironically. Not a usual sort of build-up on kick-off because we're normally a little bit more direct, but I like the variation again. So we win the ball back really quickly, and then we're able to get it into the box and win the penalty, where we then go on and score, giving the game away. Never be on You've Been Framed. I suppose you guys won't even know what Eubing framed is. And again, another penalty. Another penalty. Not sure about your run up on that one, H. It was a little bit straight, so might just need to think about your run up. But look, you scored all of them so far this season, so don't try and change your technique for me. Another one, goal outside the box. There was another goal outside the box in this game, I believe, but goal outside the box, and a good finish created again. So sorry, let me just pause that clip again. It's created because of how much we stretched the pitch this time through Jamie Smith on that left hand side. I think I said well done to Jamie in this clip during the game, because he created this, and if that defender was more central, Harrison wouldn't have got that shot away. We would have had to have built through a different means. So another goal, but from outside the box, and then really good combination play here for us to get the winner. So we win the ball back quite quickly, and then get our shot away at a vital time. And we're able to celebrate like madmen and kill Jamie in the process. So that is the goals. Let me now just show you. Let me just show you some of the things that I look at with the other coaches. So I think it's just really important for us to sort of just take this reflective time as a group and just say, right, okay, so what's working, what's not, and what do we need to get better at? And if I look at what I look at on a game basis and what's really important to me, I think it goes from right to left here. So the first bit of importance for me is how many minutes during the 70 do we retain possession? How many minutes in that 70 minutes do we keep the ball? And I'm really pleased with this. I think we can get better. And, you know, when we face tough teams like Wake Green, Calcer, and then Leamington Spa, our numbers reduce. But then against the likes of Newcastle that we lost 3-0 to, we've got 21 minutes. Worcester, where we won 3-0, and then Old Wolves, we had the highest minutes of possession. So this is the amount of minutes that we hold on to the ball during the game. And I think this is really, really good. I want to get to 25 before Christmas. That is my goal. That's my personal goal. How can we retain the ball for 25 minutes? And just to put this into perspective, Harrison's county team and Jamie's county team are about 11 minutes of retention of possession in 70 minutes. So this is really, really good. I then look at possession. So possession is how much of the ball time or possession in minutes do we retain versus the opposition. So you can see against Newcastle 62, but we lost 3-0. Worcester, we won 3-0, 63%, 59 against Wake Green, 52 against Calcer, a really, really good team. And I think that's a true reflection of the quality that was on the pitch that day on both teams, that we played our way, they played their way, and we still ended up with pretty equal possession. Leamington, 57, and then Old Wolves, we had 69%. Another one that's really important to me is how many connected passes or passes completed do we have? And again, you can see how this dips through and then rises back up. So I'm hoping that we can hit the 300 before Christmas. Even next week or the weekend coming, I think is a really good target for us. So Newcastle, 278, Worcester, 217, 164 against Wake, 184 against Calcer, 228 against Leamington, and then 290 versus Old Wolves. And then probably the one that you guys are really interested in is how many shots and what do we score. So I think it's really really important for us to just take a reflective look on this and go 4 against Newcastle. Get that. We weren't particularly great in the final third. If anything, we should have probably worked on out of possession play that day instead of in possession, but we weren't to know, and it is what it is. We were really short on strikers as well that day, if you can remember. Worcester, 12 shots, 9 against Wake. So 3 goals we scored out of 12, 1 goal out of 9 shots, 1 goal out of 12 shots, 3 goals out of 11, and then 5 goals versus 11 shots. So what I'm now going to do is just show you a little bit of an eye opener for us. So if I look at all of our attempts, so all these dots here are the shots that we've had in games, and if you click on these, you can actually see where the shot came, and you can watch the clip. You can see where all these shots have came, and I'd say 90%. What's that? 13 inside the box, probably 13, 14 shots. Oh no, actually there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 that we haven't scored from inside the box. So 21 shots out of 73. What's that? About a 25% of our shots are inside the box. But if you then look at goals, so 75% outside the box, 25% inside the box. If you then look at our goals, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of the goals, 8 of the goals inside the box. So over 50%, 8 out of 13 goals are inside the box. I wouldn't class that as inside the box. Probably was Jamie's goal, that was against Calcer. So yeah, definitely in the box. It just didn't count. So 9 out of the 13 goals are scored from in the box, which is what 75% of the goals that we've scored are from inside the box. 75% of shots are outside, but 75% of the goals have been scored from inside the box. What I would say is that we need to do better at working that ball inside the box. And this becomes really evident when you look at some of these other stats. So if you look at pass location, 85% is in the middle. If you then replicate that into where we've had our shots, you can see that actually we're probably panicking when we're getting into that final third and taking the shots, instead of how can we build through the number 9, how can we build through the 7 and the 11 in the wide areas, those wide strikers. But I'd like to see these passes in the final third increasing. So think about how we can go and support. I've got some sort of directives and some ideas on how we do that I'll talk about in a moment. But the pass location is really key. Can we get more passes into that final third? And then the final one is the possession. So possession, we're getting a lot of possession, or a lot more possession in the final third. But and I'm happy that we're taking possession in the defensive third, and we've only made one mistake around playing out from the back this season as well, which I'll show in the next video. But we need to increase that possession in that attacking third, and we can do that through a number of ways. So let me just extend this, and then we can. The key areas for me are, I don't know if that reads right. The first one is the 8 and the 10 breaking the line to get through into the box. I think that's really, really important. The centre forward making space for the through balls into the central channel. So through balls into the central areas goes hand in hand with point number 2. I think these two are really, really important. Centre forward bouncing, not bousing. I've missed the N off there, so I hope there's no English teachers on. This was meant to be a maths lesson, so don't take the mick out of my spelling. Centre forward bouncing higher up the pitch. So instead of the 9 thinking that they're going to go and score, we need to connect through the 9. So we need to think about the second phase through the 9. So can the 9 receive, bounce in, and then one of the 8 or the 10 go and support them. And then the 8 and the 10 driving into the box themselves with the ball. I think this is really, really important. So, Harrison, Freddie, think about Jamie that might play the 10. Think about Hughesy that might play the 10. Jamie Smith, he might play the 10 or the 8. Can you get higher and run into the box with the ball? And we know that when we do, we take contact, and then we get the penalties and hopefully go and score. So, look, that's my analysis. I think there's some real key bits for us to think about. This week at training will be about how we build to get into the box and get composure and stay in that box higher. So, ciao for now, boys. See you at training.